Hi, this is Lisa Rangel with Chameleon Resumes, the premier executive resume writing company, and thank you so much for joining me today. So today we're going to talk about 5 elements of an interview generating cover letter. Say that 5 times. Anyway, so let's jump into it. Item number 1 that makes your cover letter an interview generating machine is to put the cover letter in the email. Put the cover letter content in the email. Don't attach a cover letter and attach your resume. Make sure you take that cover letter content and put that in the actual email, right? So we call them cover letter e-notes now for that reason, because it's an e-note. You're not physically sending a cover letter, with a manual piece of paper resume, and so it's the modern way of doing it nowadays is not attaching the cover letter to the email, but make sure the actual email has the cover letter content. So make sure you put it in the email. The second element that allows your cover letter to be an interview generating machine is address it to a person. Absolutely do your research and address it to a person, even if it's the wrong person. That person could forward it on, could tell you they're the wrong person, but it shows you've done some homework, you've done some due diligence, you've done your research. Do not send it generic. Do not do to whom it may concern, ma'am and sirs. Don't do any of that. Try to find a person and address that person by name. And then also the third element of an interview generating cover letter is to outline how you found that person. Because assuming it's somebody you don't know or somebody you're not introduced to, where it's obvious how they found you, when you reach out to someone cold, there is this underlying wonder of, how'd they find me? Where'd you find me? So whether it's an article somebody wrote, or you did your research and you found them through your research, or they're an alumni of a college you went to, or anything, right? Any way that you found them, give a little inkling as to the leverage you're using in how you found them to contribute to why they should be able to, be motivated to reach out to you. And then the fourth element of an interview generating cover letter is to make sure that you outline the role that you're looking for. Do not leave it up to the reader to determine where you fit. Too many people do that. They think that somebody's going to read their resume and go, oh, they're right for this job. That's very rarely going to happen. I'll never say never, but it will rarely happen. But you need to put what job you are looking for in the cover letter. And if they have another job or they think you're suited for a different job, they're going to tell you this. But you need to not put the work in the lap of the reader. You need to have shown that you've done some work and you are approaching this company because you want this specific role. Obviously, if it's online, or posted online already, you should include the title, the job number, any identifying factors to help that person know what job you're going for. If this is a cold approach or a networking approach, or you're following up on an introduction type of approach, put the title that you are typically targeting and interviewing for. So at least they have an idea of what you want and they get to see how your experience plus with what you want compares to what they have. So that's key. And then, the fifth element of a modern interview generating cover letter is that you keep it short. You have to look at it on your mobile phone. It really shouldn't be longer than a scroll, in my opinion, maybe 2 at the most. Make sure it's short. Make sure it's very digestible in just a few moments. It should not be this long dissertation or regurgitation of your resume or any of that. So these are 5 elements of a modern, interview generating cover letter. And if you want to learn more about how to do this, I'm going to ask you to go over to coverletterenotes.com and buy my book that shows you how to write some great cover letters. There's examples of some great cover letters in there that you can use as an inspiration, because you should never copy things directly, or, whether it's ChatGPT suggestions or from books like mine, the suggestions, you always need to create your own thing and be authentic. But this can help you with some inspiration and some direction in order to do so. The one thing I did not say that I think is obvious here is you have to include your achievements that are pertinent to the job that you're targeting. And most people do that, so these are elements of a cover letter that will make it be more pertinent to the person that you're reading. If you employ these 5 elements plus the achievements that you already normally put in that are relevant to the job you're going for, it's going to just inch out amongst the sea of people that they're already reviewing. So this is going to be important if the person receiving your resume values cover letters. So this is the context in that. You go to coverletterenotes.com, pick yours up. If you know of someone who's going to benefit from this video, I'm going to ask you to share it. If you like it, I'm going to ask you to like it. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to comment below or DM me or email me at lr@chameleonresumes.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you do not miss next week's video. So thank you so much for watching and have a great day.